Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
There you are. There she is. Let us know if you can hear everything, see everything. If all is good. Should be working all right. Hey, Louis. Louis?
Lurie.
Laurie.
That's
I keep getting that wrong. Sorry, I can't read.
the OG Lori.
I know.
Lori C.
I'm waking up still. Bear with me. We had a nice early start to the day. Good bit of gym.
Yeah. I did legs for the first time in like 3 months.
More importantly, since pretty significant surgery.
Yes. I had intestines taken out, whatever.
yeah. No big deal.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I couldn't work out my core and my bottom half until today. And boy, howdy. We did the bare minimum and I hurt.
Yeah. I'm going to pop these on quick just to listen to us and see if we're all good.
Ugh.
I think we should be. I don't think there should be any issues. And then we can get straight into it. I have this muted by default, so.
Well, yeah. I don't want to hear us.
We're all good.
When you hear your own voice.
It's the worst. I've been
It's
hearing my own voice for years.
the
It's like the biggest form of self-punishment I've ever seen. Went to the LA show. This is from Smooth Goose ASMR. Love the name. Absolutely love it. Went to the LA show for my first time seeing a favorite band of all time live, and boy, did they not disappoint. Been to a lot of shows. Best show ever. Yeah, so this
exactly
is
the same.
this is what we're going to be talking about. Is like,
Yeah.
So I have this, just to set up context, I have this relatively decent history with them on my channel with reactions. I think I've got, how many did I say? About 30 odd videos.
Nearly 30.
Yeah, it's about like 20 something, late 20s reactions, and then a couple other videos where I'm talking specifically about them. And it's one of those bands where you're like, okay, I used to live in the UK, so thought I had a decent chance of seeing them. Moved here, and I was like, they're so big, they have to tour. They did. Missed the previous tour, and then even when Arcadia came out, I was like, we got to get on this. Jumped all over the queue when the tickets came out, and absolutely no chance in hell.
Nope.
It was a disaster.
Standard.
So I kind of did the thing that I never do, which is just went out and said, look, if anybody knows anybody,
Help.
just put them in touch with me, and we'll go from there. And I had some very kind people reach out to me to try and help, and there was we had a couple of friends kind of offer things, and we weren't able to take advantage of them. And then somebody named Christy and her wonderful husband Kelly and their incredible daughter Violet basically hit me up in Instagram and went, we have these spare tickets. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, we could have a call and chat, make sure that we both aren't crazy, because the internet's a crazy place sometimes, and strangers and all. And we did, and they're wonderful, and they're more wonderful than I could ever dream of. And because of them, we got to go to LA and watch them perform live for the first time to close off their tour, which I think, selfishly, is the best show to watch.
Yeah, I mean, sure, there's probably more of a maybe an emotional charge to it if it's the last show of the tour and they're like throwing it all out there. But honestly, like I don't doubt that they did that for every single show. And from what I'm seeing from everybody else posting about their experiences with the show, whichever show they went to on this tour, every single show was amazing. So
let me tell you why I say that. And just to thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I mean, sharing the love of this band. And also, if you haven't seen Sleep Token live, tell us about a really good show that had a major impact on you. It doesn't have to just be that. Not everyone was as lucky. Mayhem Mel says, flew from Florida to see them in Minneapolis with a friend. More than worth the trip. Most cathartic experience of my life.
Yep.
Brilliant word. I was 10 feet away from Vessel at the LA show, uploaded a 13-minute video in 4K of Infinite Bards. That was bananas good, along with the band celebrating. So the reason I say, that's Alexander Vara. Thank you for putting that in there. This is helpful because you get to bounce ideas, and it helps remind us of some of the stuff that we're watching.
Also, I don't want this to just be us yapping about our experiences.
No.
I want you guys to talk too.
And so basically, the reason I say the last show for me is the best one is there is that emotional charge from the band. They're going to give it one last push. They're going to pull out all the stops, per se. But also, they've worked out, if there were any technical things that were needed to be worked out from the beginning of the tour, they're done, they're settled, they're sorted.
Sure.
And also, they played 2 shows in that arena night after night. So
Did they?
Didn't they play two
No.
shows in that arena?
They played one in Oakland and then they came down to
I'm
LA.
wrong. Sorry, I'm wrong. Two in Oakland. So my point still is valid because of the timing. So they had more time. When you're traveling, you have less time to go sound check, set up. It's more rushed.
Yeah.
But I think being so close, you have more time to get comfortable with the arena and kind of, especially for engineers, make that perception around what it's going to sound like when it's full of people. And it was I don't want to swear yet because it's still early days, early days on this stream. But yeah, it was insane. And back to, so we get this DM. We're like, we want to buy these tickets immediately from you. And they're like, absolutely not. We want to give them to you because we're fans of the channel. We know that you're genuine fans of this band and we want someone, this is Christy's exact words, we want people who absolutely are going to enjoy every minute of this to have these. And I mean, they treated us like gold.
The amount of, just as a small example, this woman is like, Christy, you may watch this at some point. You may not. I don't know, but I will tell you to your face. This woman is so thoughtful. That's not so incredibly thoughtful. She messaged me. We're like in the hotel. I think it was the day of, and she messaged me and said, "Hey, are there any foods that you guys can't have or whatever?" And I was like, I mean, I'm allergic to almonds, but that's it. That's my lame allergy. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm putting together like a whatever she said, post-show care package or whatever.
Package, yeah.
And I'm like, why?
Yeah,
like, stop. And this is after
they
already.
picked us up and took us from the hotel to the show, took us back. I mean.
But this is already after so much thoughtfulness that I'm like, you can't be a real person because nobody is this thoughtful.
No,
I consider myself quite a thoughtful person. But I mean, honestly, this little care package had like meat sticks and these really good chips and electrolytes. Like, come on. Who thinks about that? But it saved us afterwards. So
I will say this as well. So, first of all, Christy Kelly Violet, we cannot thank you enough. I mean, one of the most wonderful experiences of our life, musically, probably the best I've ever had. And if it wasn't for you all, this wouldn't happen. So, all the love and all of the care. Carl Viegas says, hey guys, Chase, your videos have been such a help for my mental health over the years. Been able to watch your reaction Sleep Token has been like a friend I didn't know I needed. Thank you, bro. Oh, man, honestly, thank you for that. When I started this, the last thing I thought of that the videos would do, I thought maybe at best they would reach a handful of people who could just go like, oh, I didn't know that's what that musical term was called. That was the whole point, right? But that means the world to me, and I understand the importance of, for myself, a pattern, a rhythm, and like an episodic feel to just distraction. And it's been incredibly helpful. So thank you for that. It means the world. And I promise you, there's always going to be more. So thank you for the support. I will say this. I've gotten to know a number of fan groups throughout the years, and they all come with their good and their bad. That's a fact. But this like thoughtlessness, this like shared positive energy that we're talking about from Christy.
Thoughtfulness.
That's what I said.
I thought you said thoughtlessness. Anyways.
I'll have to go back and listen. Thoughtfulness. But even at the show, people are handing out bracelets. They're handing out things they made. They're trying to like help everybody. It's the most wonderful thing I've ever seen.
I didn't know that the bracelets were a thing. This is how I love this band. I will never claim to know every single thing to know about this band ever, because I just don't. Like all the lore and all the whatever.
We know a bit.
Some, but I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and claim I'm an expert. I'm great at loving their music for sure, but I didn't know that the bracelets were a thing. We were in a restaurant near the arena to grab some dinner before, and I went to the restroom with Christy, and she like stopped while I'm walking, and I'm like, oh. And she came up, she's like, there's a table that has bracelets. We need to get them on the way out. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
What does that mean?
What bracelets? I didn't know that there's like, I thought the bracelet thing was for like a Swiftie thing. I didn't realize that it was a sleep token thing too.
And they do their own coded messaging on, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool, like acronyms and stuff. It's really, really cute and wonderful.
Yeah, I found myself when we went back to that table. She's like picking, bracelets. Pick one. And she's like, "Do you want one?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't think so." I'm like so in the best way overwhelmed by the stir and the environment that I can't I don't know. It's probably, you could probably diagnose me with something, but I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm just happy to be here. I kept saying that. I'm like, I'm just happy to be here. I don't need anything extra. I'm like, I don't want to take things. I don't know. But that was like a really unexpected thing because, sorry, I know I'm going on, but just.
You love these bracelets.
I got two. I got a whole two, but I'm fine with that. And I think probably what was the most surprising about that kind of a thing and just in general, like the feel good vibes that were there was, like you were saying, in any fandom, there's most of the people are great. There is always those people
Crazies
that they want to gatekeep. They want to.
This is my band.
This is mine. Like, you don't get it, or they're just assholes.
This couldn't have been the opposite.
Just pick a thing. So I'm going, okay, it's going to be fine. It's going to be a fun time, but there's probably going to be something.
Nothing.
I didn't see one person that was like being a jerk.
I'll say this. I didn't see a jerk. Weird. I saw a girl who was incredibly hammered, and what I kept thinking was,
she almost
you're missing.
Fell down the stairs.
She did fall, and I helped her up.
Oh, she did.
Fell up. She fell up the stairs or something.
Shame, man.
And I was on like an aisle seat, so I like helped her up, and she just looked at me weird, and she was like, "Where's my stuff?" And I'm like, "I don't know you. Yeah. I don't know what stuff." Anyway, I saw her outside, and she was like sobbing a sobbing mess because she's hammered. And I kept thinking, you're going to miss the show and you're going to hate yourself for it. But people were like rallying around her and trying to help her.
Yeah, anyway, she was like by herself, which was sad. But
Alexander says, did we catch the line of people at the box office who turned away for third-party tickets? AXS is an absolute worst. Yeah, we didn't see that. We went to the restaurant, we went straight in, we came out, so I didn't see any of that.
Saw the line.
Saw lines, didn't know what they were for.
And figured it was for, I don't know if people were trying to like see if they could get tickets there because all the shows were sold out.
It is crazy.
I've never had a problem with Axis, but
did you say it like that?
I don't know.
I'm saying AXS. It sounds like Axis sounds like it's better. AXS. I mean, what is it? A pop group from Korea.
Axis.
Yeah, way better. Okay, so the show. First of all, we have to give. We had brilliant seats. The sound was incredible, but I would punch myself right through the back of my neck if I didn't go. Can we please just have a moment to talk about how phenomenal Thornhill are? Dude. Now, I know, and I might be getting this wrong, and if I'm getting it wrong, then I don't fucking care, really, to be honest. But I believe they were on another tour, and they got offered this tour, and they had to jump ship to this tour, and
they had to have some conversations.
They had to have conversations. Now, I'll say this. There's a lot of people, I'm sure, are like, why would you do that? Because it's Sleep Token. And this is one of the most important big events you can have where you're introduced to such a big audience. And anybody who genuinely wants good for you as a band will understand. I understand the complexity. I understand all of the things. And I understand that sometimes it can even be a thing of, I understand you got to do this, but I'm really let down. I can understand all of it. They made the right choice, and they absolutely crushed. They crushed on a stage that they kind of, when there's this big theatrical presence, the stage is limited. There's the curtain, there's everything else. And they kind of took over in a very casual way. Because of Sleep Token being very methodic and theatrical and musical theater almost, they were the opposite. They were very casual live band, but with the power to match.
Dude.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think anybody who is in this world, like, at least had heard of Thornhill because they've been around for a while. But I just, sorry, excuse me. I just hadn't heard a lot of their catalog. But what I had heard, I was like, oh, ooh, what?
Is this the shirt I bought you at the show?
Yeah.
I ran out during one of the interludes and I bought your shirt. I didn't know this. I was like, where the fuck did you get this?
Yeah, he disappeared for like the fastest pee break ever and then was like, here.
Because it was the cues for the merch were crazy, so I picked my moment. But anyway,
But
yeah, so good.
Yeah, Thornhill put on. That's the thing is like, Sleep Token had the whole production, obviously the stage and stage setup, and that blew me away too. But Thornhill goes to show you don't have to have the big theatrical thing to be powerful and make an impact. I was really impressed with them by live, and now I've been like binging all of their whole catalog.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, they're definitely legit, as if that wasn't a thing before, but certainly no.
The other thing is, like, from a time point of view, they played enough that I got, like, I knew a couple of songs. I think I might have done a reaction to them. I'm sure I have at least one.
You did.
But they played enough. They got enough of a slot because there was only one opener that you got to know them. You got to know them pretty well.
Oh, can I just say an aside? 2 bands, 3 at most. Let them play long enough. Let them play long enough to where you get a full flavor. When you're cramming 6 bands onto one bill,
that's a day
especially
festival.
for an arena show, please don't. It's not enough.
Absolutely agree. And there's a balance. You want bands to have the
Time-wise.
exposure, to have those moments, but also it's a lot. Now, can we get into this because I've got thoughts?
Oh, I thought we were in it.
No.
Okay.
The Sleep Token segment of it.
Oh, okay.
Laurie says, saw them in Utah. I remember you messaged and you said you were going with the family. That arrived at the family's home. They're chocolate playing for us. Our granddaughter made me a bracelet. You see, I even have pink flowers from a young woman. That's amazing. Oh, the petals from when it fell. I'll say this. Okay, so let me get into this because this is a very important thought. I haven't even told you this.
Ooh.
So the one thing about Sleep Token that has always impressed me is their ability to make the most out of the moments in between. When they're not releasing an album, there's silence. In between the songs, there's the lore, there's the teasing of information, there's the what's the stuff? The wording's all jumbled up. What am I looking for? The puzzle,
Like the coding that they put
I'm gonna
out.
lose my fucking mind because I can't speak English.
There it is.
The coding, all those kind of things. The slight teasers of the musical piano work, the imagery. They make such great use out of everything around the music that it excites you and it makes you just settled in a place that you are just craving what is the key part of the band, which is the music. And their live show is no different. Most bands will have like hype music playing in between the bands. Everything's like kind of, bright and go get your drinks, go do your thing. Not these ones. There's no music. There's just wind and like a storm, like an environmental, like a storm and wind playing. And everything is gray. Everything is like subdued. I don't know if gray is the right word, but it's desaturated completely.
Yeah.
So you've got this whirling wind effect for a long time, and you've got this gray, so by the way, it's the opposite of what you're gonna get, which is this beautiful saturated themes and colors. And they're kind of like, it's like this palette cleanser of anything and everything. And then without warning, you get the Look to Windward intro coming in, right?
Yeah.
And the big curtain's got the logo presented on. You see all the confetti falling. Color starts being introduced. He is singing behind the curtain live, which is great because you normally only get that powerful vocal, such an iconic vocal. His voice comes through only when the band's seen. But no, this is behind. This is happening all behind. And when it drops and that curtain pulls, which by the way, I have a pet peeve when they do curtain drops, that they take too long to pull the curtain. These motherfuckers pulled that curtain. They pulled it. Yeah. And it was like being exposed. Like it was the most overstimulated musical moment I've ever had.
Yeah. Well, as you're talking through that, I suppose it's kind of mirroring what they do in their music, like in their songs anyway. But I forget every time how you word it, but basically you've said before in many reactions, like they show you the size of the room
Mm-hmm.
by pulling back, by essentially being quieter,
Mm-hmm.
removing those senses, like just making you tune into a tiny little bit, and then bah, like they show you.
And the key,
So, or the whatever, they touch the ceiling, or they, whatever eloquent way that you said it that I don't remember.
and it's always a false ceiling. There's always there's an initial false ceiling, and then there's like
Sure.
a bigger part of it. But the perfect, for me, the perfect volume and sound and power for a concert is just softer than it needs to be. When that band starts, if you feel like it's hitting you in the face and super powerful, but you feel like there's a little room for more volume, that's the perfect level, because you will get fatigued. Over an hour,
Yeah.
hour and a half, your ears will get tired. Those nerve endings will get more sensitive. They'll stop moving as much, and then it just becomes too loud. It starts to hurt. So they nailed that. The engineers, crazy. The set design, all of them, absolute crazy. Now, I got one negative.
Does it have to do with this last comment?
How'd you guys feel about the set list? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. About the set list, the greater emphasis on the new album. I was really disappointed they didn't play Atlantic, Euclid. That's like Zeppelin not playing Stairway. So I thought about this because my initial response was to you was, how dare they? How dare they not play Take Me Back to Eden?
Yeah, that was one that I was really hoping for, but
everything they do seems purposeful, and there's a lot that isn't. I can promise you, a lot is happenstance, and a lot of it is accidental purposefulness. Okay, they're just people, but they're very smart people, very thoughtful people. So I wonder if it wasn't because of the message in the lyrics of that song that they felt like it was putting the story backwards. It wasn't because of the Take Me Back to Eden. There's a lot of references of post that moment lyrically in the songs, like they're asking me how's the garden, like that kind of stuff. I don't know if that filtered into it. I don't know if it was just because it's such a long song that it would have maybe taken out one or two other songs.
we would have stayed.
I would have been fine. We could have played. Well, there's venue restrictions on time
No,
limits and
I
stuff. It's
know.
whatever. But that's the one that I thought I would have loved. I wanted them to play everything. Atlantic, hell yeah. Euclid, hell yeah. But I would have switched those two for Take Me Back to Eden, just because of what an impactful song. I think it's one of their best ever songs, and so it felt like if you were gonna play just the new album, that's fine. But if you were gonna play stuff from the older albums, which they did, then that was one that was a miss. And I'm sure there's a good reason, but
two things, probably more, but they did play Rain, which that I'm so glad that they played that song, because
Great
that song in particular, I think wasn't one that people focused on initially, like when that album came out, but I love that song.
you nearly said I fucking love
I know. And I don't know why I restrict myself. I cuss all the time.
It's
and
because
too
I
much,
tried
but
to stop in the
I
beginning.
know,
But
I'm trying to be
we passed like
better.
8-minute mark. We're good.
Fuck it. So, Rain, I'm so glad they played that.
Big stadium sound for that. Big.
Oh, God. The
Rain
down on me.
Hey, dude.
Fuck. Like, I don't know how you don't just get jacked about that. So, yeah, I think that's the only one they played from that album. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. But here's the overall thing. I know there's a couple songs I would have swapped out for, adding a Take Me Back to Eden.
And don't hear what we're not
whatever.
saying.
However, their set list
Love it.
was everything it needed to be for this show. You can't take a band like that and go, it's like picking a favorite child. We all have one, but I'm just kidding. Depends on the day.
I'm like, who?
Depends on the day. No, but their catalog is so many bangers that how do you even whittle that down to 12 or 13, 15 songs, something like that. How do you do that? And that's probably, such a struggle for them as well. They also need to have time to chill, pretty much, like on stage. That's kind of like one of those things that bands do, where they calculate kind of those moments of, okay, we just had okay, bring it down a bit. What do we have in our pocket? And to be honest, they have one song that has all of that in there. They played Granite and Aqua Regia. Oh yeah, I'm so stupid. Those are.
I don't know what songs are what from which album anymore, so I don't say anything.
I had it in my head. You know, there's a reason. I had it in my head that those were on This Place Will Become Your Tomb, only because Aqua Regia is water, and then the thing on the thing like that. That's why. I do this all the time, where I mess up which albums are which songs are on which album. So thank you, Mayhem Mel.
Yes,
but I wish they would have played more Sundowning.
Listen. I think no matter who you ask,
I wish they would play for 6 hours. Basically,
I would have loved Bloodsport. There's so much that it just depends. Like, they can't play everything, and it's, there's gonna come a time where they do like a best of tour versus trying to launch a new album, and then you're gonna get this,
no. Oh God, they're at some point.
That's really sweet.
Sorry, I'm just really excited. At some point,
hey, Big Sam.
Hey Sam, they're going to do album. And if they're not going to listen to me, Sleep Token. At a certain point, when you decide, because you know what you're doing, I'm just some chick in a chair, but at some point do album tours, do Sundowning front to back.
He's Legend does them now, and they're brilliant.
Oh my God, it is so fucking nostalgic to be able to do that. And quite frankly, I don't know of an album that is a skip for me. I can't, picking a favorite album.
It is more
tough.
It is more of a thing you do later on in the band career,
yes.
And also it is not the thing you do when you're submitting for awards.
Of course.
So
no. I didn't mean right now. Yeah. Eventually, they will have the ability to do that, and they should absolutely.
Can I just say this? Like, I know that this band's blown up like crazy, and I know that when anyone gets any molecule of success, even as an individual human, there's always people that want to like hate you for it because it's not happening to them, or whatever like weird thing it is. They didn't get hugs, but the Sleep Token hate is just a weird one. It's a bit like the Nickelback hate. It's a bit like when anyone achieves like major success, it becomes almost in some way fashionable to dislike. Now, hang on, let me just say this.
There's an aside to that,
but it's important. It's important that there's a lot of things that people don't like. Music, bands, food. You don't talk about. You don't shout them out all the time. So like, don't shout. I don't understand it, because let people enjoy let them have their moment and love it and enjoy it. Like, if you don't like a certain kind of pizza, you don't go online every day and go, I don't like this pizza. Like, it's not happening to you. So just don't talk about it. You don't go online. The same people who hate on Sleep Token don't go online just randomly and talk about who else they don't like. They talk about them, because this is this big moment for them. And also, hey, dum-dums, all you're doing is making them bigger. So keep on.
Yeah. I think part of that too is the cool crowd of people who listen to the same exact music. Anything that falls outside of that can fuck right off. They don't care, like, it's stupid, whatever.
Yeah.
It's when the thing becomes popular, it's automatic hate. It doesn't even matter what it is. If there's a thing that is potentially usurping on the charts the thing that you like,
yeah,
it's like, I fucking hate that. And it's like, well, because they knocked your favorite band out of number one.
It doesn't even work like that.
It doesn't have to be like that. You always say, oh, I like red. Oh, so you fucking hate blue, right?
Yeah, that's
it's like, hey, calm the fuck down. It's not that deep, by the way.
Will we see how much more on your OnlyFans? Eric, you're weird. I don't know. Are you making a joke? If you're making a joke, that's funny, but I don't understand. It's a bit weird, a bit odd.
His OF page is really banging.
Oh, I think we know what he's talking about, but very strange. Very strange. Anyway, yeah, it's one of those weird things. While you're deciding and debating whether they're metal or not, they're waking up in sold-out states and shows and countries to like adoring fans. I think you'll be fine. I will say this. This is a pretty cool thing about them. Is when a band creates so much atmosphere and stuff like that, what they're doing is promising you this like kind of very intense experience, which in a way is a distraction from anything else, from real life. When you go and watch them live, you are living in that moment. You're living in that thing. And you have to be careful as a band, because when you make that promise, you have to then... A lot of people feel very deeply about a lot of things. And then when you make that promise and you deliver, you distract them from reality. Afterwards, they're left with this hole. We had it, but it's concert blues. But the thing that Sleep Token do brilliantly is they give you the melodies and they give you the words to help confront reality after. And that's why you see so many people documenting the shows, videos, 13-minute videos of a song, collecting the petals off the ground. It's not a thing that I do, but I get it, because they're like trying to keep a hold of moments, to keep almost this memory of this thing, so that when they go back to reality, they still have a piece of that like euphoria that lives with them. It's kind of remarkable. It's this weird, and they're not the only band people behave like this to, but there's certainly one of the bands where you can feel it very deeply.
Yeah, I think, well, for someone like me, so I don't take pictures and I don't take videos. I'm like notoriously terrible at it. I still don't think I took a lot of pictures. I took some video though, because I know for me, like I'm a very emotional person, and with music, certain music, I connect, like there is a deep thing that happens in me. I get choked up during happy songs. Like it doesn't even have to, I get goosebumps. I'm feeling it. I'm just one of those people. We exist a lot. A lot of us are out there. But
that's not me.
I know, but it doesn't mean you don't appreciate the music.
I'm just I got lost standing there, just staring at them, like going, "This is happening."
Yeah. So if you add the added element of getting overly emotional and somewhat overwhelmed by a good thing, your brain doesn't necessarily retain what you're seeing and experiencing. So it's kind of the opposite of if you experience like a really negative traumatic event. A lot of times you don't remember a lot about it or anything about it, because your brain just can't process and deal with it and retain it. Same thing happens on the other side when it's a super positive thing and you're like, you've got all your senses triggered and you're just like locked in. Even though I stood there, I watched everything, I experienced it then. Even now, I'm trying to remember something so impactful, and sometimes I have little moments where I can't, and it's frustrating. So I think like being able to have the pedals, have the pictures and the videos and then going on and seeing everybody else's and whatever, it's like this, it's a good way to kind of help your brain out.
I saw people like selling the pedals online, and I was like, that's fucking gross and weird.
Really opportunistic. And
but then I saw a girl
yucky,
right afterwards did a really lovely thing. She had like one of the posters framed, like glass in a frame, and she had put the pedals in around like cool. the thing, and it looked sick. It honestly looked like they did it. And she just put them in around, like kind of scattered around in the frame, and I was like, that is such a smart, like, now that's different to everything else that exists like that. That was really cool.
People are so cool and creative.
I think that's considered shock. It was shock.
Yeah, it is. I was standing there. I knew they were getting ready to start. And so I just started recording. And then I recorded the whole first song, Look to Windward. And I remember standing there going, I kind of wish that I wasn't recording. I just want to experience it. But then I'm like, no, I'm going to regret it if I don't. And I'm glad that I did. Now my arm was like dying by the end of it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But after that, after the show, Christy, the one who got us there, she was like, "Can I just say, while you were filming, I could see the goosebumps on your arm just like raise up."
It's
And I'm like,
crazy.
"Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's quite intense." Now, do you have a new point to go? Because I do.
I wanted to ask you, I wanted to ask you to speak about your fear of watching them.
We finish each other's sandwiches.
I'll say this first because it's just a quick little thing, and it's not to
Yeah.
not to minimize this or rush through it, but I want you to talk about that because I thought that was quite interesting. But there was a lot of like the saxophone. There was the guy people thought it was Gabby. It was actually a different guy.
Yeah.
Bringing out the older guitarist. I think everyone knows they had a guitarist before or something like that. I think this is I might get this wrong.
Something
I
like
believe there
that.
was another guitarist, and then they switched. So he came out and played with them as like a tribute kind of thing, and then Vessel playing the guitar. Those to me, those were big moments to people, and to me, from an auditory point of view, they were huge moments. I'm not really like it doesn't do anything for me. I thought it was cool, but I understand why people look. He's playing guitar. I was like. I'm just, the whole thing is the thing for me. So please don't hear what I'm not saying. But it was a cool lot. I kind of found myself grinning at it and smiling. When I saw more members on the stage, I was like, I know what's going on here. And I didn't know, but I knew. Because if you've been in a band, you know how these things kind of work.
Yeah.
And then seeing the saxophone player in Provider hit that like solo when the lights go, and then it comes in straight with that. Fucking one of the moments of the show for me. Absolutely one of the moments. It was phenomenal. But before the show, and long before tour was announced, long before this album, we'd always wanted to see them. And B said to me, she's scared of seeing them live. And I was like, what does that mean? Go.
I think it's kind of the same thing as when a band that you love comes out with new music. There's excitement. There's like, oh my God, it's here. Like, I get to experience it. But right before you hit play, you're like, what if it sucks? And it's not because, I mean, I don't know.
Because you think it'll suck.
It's not because you really think it'll suck. Because, I mean, I have a really hard time believing that Sleep Token could produce something that just totally sucked. But
live is different.
Live is also a very different thing. It's this honest, I feel like it's a really honest feeling that you have right before. It's like a don't meet your heroes because you're afraid that it's going to get ruined. And for me, like live music, I don't go to a lot of live shows. I'm pretty selective, I guess. Like I'll go see live music, whatever. Like I love it. But there's few bands that I'm like, I must see them live. And I think part of it is because I think as a former vocalist, I very much focus on the vocals. And I know that live singing is so not the same thing as what you hear on the album. And there are inconsistencies and there are flat notes and because you know what? Humans, right? We're not fucking aliens and we can't just nail it all the time unless you're fucking Damash or something. But I'm just worried. Like I was so worried about those like micro things. Like I wanted so badly for them to be great, not to put any more fucking pressure on them than they already have, and that they're already putting on themselves. But it was a genuine like worry. It wasn't going to stop me from going, but
you have to be realistic as well. And like again, don't hear what I'm not saying. Was it a incredibly 100% flawless vocal? No, because it's never going to be.
That's my point.
But that to me is better. Now, was it as close as a human can get?
Yep.
Yep. I mean, that motherfucker.
At the end of an arena tour?
And every little run that he
Fucking
did, the
hell,
way
man.
he's evolved these vocals, he crushed. Was it textbook 100% perfect? No, because it can't be, but it was as close as it can be. And let me say this, if you're listening close enough and you hear one little tiny little half of a thing, it reinforces how real and live it is, which gives you even more appreciation for how perfectly it has been going.
Yeah.
Because there's a point where it's too perfect, not with them, but with bands I've seen, and then you start going, there's a lot more tracks happening here than you realize, and there's a lot more things, there's a lot more magic that you don't understand is happening that isn't as live as it is pretending to be. This is at all not the case.
Well, and that's often what happens in other genres, like the pop genre and stuff. The lip syncing, we all know. We all know.
Nothing wrong with the track. I don't give a shit.
But the thing is, like in that element, please lip sync. If you can't do it, do that.
Yeah, but
because
I'm not paying to watch you.
No. That's an entertainment thing. So there's a difference between a show that's strictly like, manufactured entertainment. You get to from point A to point B. You have this. You have these exact parameters. No room to skew. You have your choreography and you have your timing and you have your and like no room for human error. So that's why that exists, and I'm fine with that because I want at that kind of a thing. I want to be entertained.
Yeah,
but at this kind of a thing, that human element of like, it sounds insulting, and it's so not.
No.
The realness, the
authenticity.
The extra,
it's authenticity.
Yeah, it's authentic, and this is a band that people have linked with authenticity. Ironically, as masked individuals, but it's true. You still get the authenticity. So when you go to a live show and you hear
Sam crushed it.
Real life instead of just listening to the album in real life. Yes, similar, but different, and both are good.
And when we say imperfections, it's not that he's like, he can't do the thing. It's sometimes in the moment where you can hear he's overwhelmed with emotion and there's like a squeak or like a run that becomes like a cry. It becomes like a cry.
Wobble.
And it's like, yeah, because you can tell the guy's feeling the damn thing and dancing like a goofball, which we love. It was so fun to see.
Oh my God, I do that all the time.
There's one moment where he's dancing and then the music stops and the lights come on and he's doing like a pose and then it goes back into it again. I was like, they've really picked little moments. And also thank you for not speaking in between the songs and thank you. I get that that's the thing bands do. For the theater, thank you for not speaking. Thank you for not playing like weird speeches and stuff in between. Thank you for just doing the music and floating through all of the tracks. And then thank you for not doing an encore.
Yeah, just have
do
it
the
packaged.
Thing and it's done.
I mean, nobody would have been upset at an encore, but can you imagine?
I don't know, but I don't like encores.
Can you? Oh, I don't care.
I don't like it.
I don't like it just because it's like the whole. I don't know. Do we leave? Do we? I don't know. Do we hang out for a half hour and just make sure? Like, just tell me, and then I'm good.
No, bands fuck it up because it's so known and so fucking gross that even if you aren't asking for it, they come back out anyway and they're like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Just do the thing, finish the thing, go home. I don't want to fucking do it. Now
we're triggered. Wait, can you imagine? Vessel just suddenly in the middle of a show going, Phoenix, how the fuck are you?
Yeah, one day it's gonna happen.
I don't.
When they demask, as everyone says. Vessel's vocals. Oh, two quick things. I heard it was Thornhill's guitarist. It might. I mean, what do I know? It might be. I was under the impression that there was another guitarist much earlier in their career, and they switched guitarists, which you wouldn't really know unless you were an avid fan. Measuring height, I guess, and that was that. But it could have been. What do I know? Vessel's vocals on the new album are overproduced. I go to see him because I prefer the raw live performance. You can hear the longing and anguish. I agree with you with that. I think when it's live, it's a whole different ball game. It's a much better experience. I don't think I agree with him being overproduced. I will say this: there is a different slant on how they produced the entire new album, which I think you're not wrong for noticing. I'm a big fan of it.
I commented on his vocals when we were going through the album and doing reactions, but what I hear is not necessarily overproduced, maybe more refined, but I don't know that that's because of an overproduction alone. I mean, there's always production, there's always filters, there's always whatever. But I think for him and his vocals, I noticed that while he still has very much Vessel vocals, they're very distinctive. We know what he sounds like. I noticed, what was an example? I can't think of a specific song, but I noticed, like in previous albums, he would go on his vocal runs and they would be very, by the end of the run, it would be kind of fading in. On this one, I noticed that when he goes on his runs or he is completing, a verse or something, you can hear the end of it clearly, more clearly. It doesn't kind of fade into. So, and that kind of puts it more at the forefront of the production, which might... That's an engineering choice, and I'm not mad at it. It's just a difference that I noticed too.
You get two types of engineers in studio. Studio engineers. One of them wants you to play exactly as you do live because they want that like rawness, and then they'll try and refine it. An other engineer, like for example, if you're singing and you're like hitting the strong notes on stage, you typically would pull the mic back.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in studio. That's him moving away from the stand. Whereas this engineer is more like, stay close. I'll do that. Give me everything you have. Let me own all of the audio. And if you want it to dip, I'll do that for you. But to not have it, you can't bring it back again. So that's like I've seen that before where the engineer, where a drummer's like going like, he's like fucking crushing the cymbals. And as he rolls, he's like more, and the guy's like, no, play it. Play the fucking thing and I will do that. And I prefer that take on engineering. But if you're
shaking when you
sorry,
just
I'm
did
just
that.
going insane. But I will say, if you're recording a live, a DVD or a live show or whatever, you want the first engineer.
Yeah, I mean I don't know anything about production.
Engineer, producer. I'm using this term
real.
for both.
But you do, because you have that knowledge. So it's interesting to me to hear, but yeah,
it's interesting, but also shut the fuck up.
It's interesting, but fucking yawn. No, it is interesting, and this is like something that you wouldn't necessarily hear at other places. I love Vessel's jazzy interpretation of the song. That's where the emotion flows. The Utah show, it was Vessel on guitar with 3 and 4. God, my eyes are terrible. I think mind blown. Yeah, it's awesome. It's those little sprinklings of extra in an already like extra band, if you could call them that. But it's still done in like a very humble way, if that makes any sense at all. Like, they put on such a production with their show, but it also is very simple, I guess.
I just Googled to say who was the extra guitarist, and they're saying there isn't one. Now, I'm going to be honest. It's very possible I'm making this up. There was more, unless it was because it was the last song and everyone was kind of coming down because they were going to do the celebration. Unless it just appeared that way. In my mind, there was another person on stage, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm they're all wearing fucking capes and cloaks. Like, what do I know?
Yeah, and also, like, to your point earlier, that kind of a thing, I go, wow, that's cool. And then I don't.
Well, that's
I don't want to say.
Sorry, different show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing is, like, they probably pulled different things when they're
especially
at different
on the last
shows.
show. It's going to be a tribute. All their families are there. People are flown out. Kids, everything else. It's great.
It's an interesting thing, but it's also not something that
there was. Okay, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Son Bradley. I appreciate you for making me feel like I'm not going crazy. I'm like, hang on. Hey,
Yeah.
there's another guy there. All cool. Don't know.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. The one thing I'll say about the they did enough. Sometimes when you have dominant songwriters in a band, like the drummer, like Vessel, drummer's 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Sometimes they push them in your face. Bands would push them in your face, and that's all you see. Not the case. 2 had his like high perch, which was fucking great.
That's so
it's so rare
cool.
to see, just crashing. Obviously, Vessel's a singer, so he's going to be there. But there was a lot of the guitarists and bassists coming down to like share moments with him and walk back up, and there was a lot of like respect for the entire band, and you could see it at the end because when it ended, they all came down to take the photo, and Vessel, I kept an eye because that's the thing I'm interested in. I watch for very small things because I've been on stage and I look for it. He hugged every single person individually. He didn't miss a goddamn person. And I'm like, this is a group. That's why it's like, yeah, in the studio, in the writing, in the thing. And please understand, he's already written half, if not most of the next album. I promise you he has. It's sitting in ideas in his pocket, on his phone, and on our stomachers. Do you hear that? That's me.
I thought that was like a plane outside.
Yeah, it's a plane in me. But you could see that that's a real tour effort. Like, it's that family vibe that you see on stuff. You don't really... It was the tour manager on guitar. No need for speculation. Well, I have to speculate because until I know, I don't know.
And people on here have literally said like 3 different answers.
Yeah, we've had 3 different speculations or answers. And I've heard many more on the internet. So if that is the case, thank you for telling us.
It doesn't make or break.
No, it doesn't change a thing.
So it's just one of those interesting little things that.
And what a cool experience! If it is the tour manager, how fucking cool! Like tour managers work so goddamn hard, and he's like, if he gets to have that like what if moment of like, hey, I get to be on stage, that's fucking rad. What I just told you, no biggie. I am all knowing.
Oh, okay. All knowing Noah. Got it.
Actually, it's a good name if you're all knowing. This is pretty good.
You should change your name.
All knowing Noah is pretty good.
Noah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you. We didn't know.
All Noah.
At least I'm not crazy that there was an extra person. That I know that.
Now that was the part that you were more concerned about.
That
that you needed validation.
Yeah, because it is all about me.
There was a whole nother person.
Yeah. No, I thought I was going insane.
I saw going back to like the family vibe of, the tour. I see all kinds of on my algorithms now. There's a picture of Vessel and he's sitting on the stage and he's holding security's hand and it just says just Vessel and his emotional support security. And I'm like, that's so sweet. It's such a sweet little thing. And it is those micro moments, again, that this band is so full of like mystery and seriousness and, lore.
They're not very serious people.
They are so, but again, it's the opposites game that they play and they've played since the beginning. It's not going to happen because they're short.
No, it's perfect. I got it.
But it's the opposites. So when they did visualizers for Sundowning, they have pink Forgive, but they have snakes going through. It's the opposites. When they did the video for Jaws, it's this lace and touchy and kissy, and a fucking cockroach comes up.
And a gun.
Like it's this, what is that called?
Contradiction.
I want to say dichotomy just to be really smart sounding, but I couldn't tell you if that's the right word or not.
Anyways, think it is.
You guys understand what I'm saying. And they've had that. They've had it in their music, their songs, where it's soft, light, and then rah, or opposite. They start out rah, and then they drop back, and then they throw a fucking jazz solo in, and then they know how to do this and go back and forth between the
dichotomy of it all.
Sure.
It is the right word.
Is it?
Yeah, because I thought it was, so I just did a quick Google. It's a contradiction or contrast or difference between two things. So.
Okay. Look at me. I'm so smart.
Well done, you English major.
I'm not an English major.
Juxtaposition, bro.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Bro, son Bradley
pulled
it out the bag.
That might still work, but yes.
The dichotomy of the juxtaposition of it all.
Yes, indeedy do.
Bro, unbelievable. Well done.
But yes.
What a word.
They've done that through albums, through songs, through visuals, through everything.
Personality.
What you're saying with the show, everything's environmental noises, wind, gray, black, and then bah with the color. Like, you know, they have mastered that. Their seriousness, and then him doing his fucking dance in his jig.
He's doing half of a Gundam style.
Yeah,
for half the show. It's
God,
great.
It's the only way.
And it's
I
funny
move
as fuck
now.
because he's this bit, he's this thin, and he's like 70 foot is what he looks like. So it's the most lanky,
He looks
funny
like a
dance. So
12-year,
like,
yeah.
he's cool, and also like
It's awesome.
ultra talented people who understand the importance of presence, when to be present, when not, the theater, all of that, but then also just like not going too hard in the paint, and like also we're just dudes, we're just guys.
They know how to take their craft seriously without taking themselves too seriously, which is great.
Yeah. The plot thickens. Oh.
Ooh,
Well, no, you're gonna have to have a word with Noah.
Nah,
Noah's gonna have a word with you in a second.
I feel like
Alexander.
Noah's like this.
Yeah, Noah's
He's
like
just
Noah's like, I fucking said I'm all knowing. I told you guys. I told you guys. Yeah, it was a beautiful show, done beautifully. Didn't get to watch the other shows. In a way, glad I didn't see any other shows and I saw that one. To see them close off the tour, to see the last thing they did, selfishly to have that be my moment with it was brilliant. After all the reactions I've done, after all the video and time and stuff and energy I put into them, this is not about me, but please don't kid yourself. The reaction scene, from a marketing point of view, is one of the main reasons they are who they are. They would always be big. They're as talented as all get out. They would always have shone in their own way. But please, let's not pretend that didn't help them get there. And I'm just super grateful to be a part of that. And look who makes an entrance. The none other than
Christy,
the absolute legend. Christy, you're going to want to go back and watch the beginning of this. We basically, hopefully, gave you your flowers and your lovely husband and your beautiful daughter, and how kind you are and what a remarkable human being you are. That gave us a moment we can never ever thank you enough for. And God willing, there will come a time where we get to do something similar for you.
Yeah, quite frankly, I don't know how to watch Sleep Token without them now.
Yeah.
I
don't want to. I don't want to.
They were such a part of the whole experience. Yeah. And to her point, like going back to what we were saying before, going with each other is enough, but going with more people that are just like fucking sold out for Sleep Token, it just enhances it that much further. Yeah. And makes it that much more of an experience.
Magical. And Noah goes, I just know someone who's been to like 60 of these shows. They're insane. That's a lot of shows to go to.
Yeah. No, you've got street cred.
I'll be honest, like
that's fair.
I like to watch a band. If they don't come to you every year and kind of do the new thing, like a Sleep Token, I don't want to watch all of their shows. I want to watch shows like here and there. I want enough time to pass. That's how I am with any band that I like. Like one of my okay. This is hard to do because it's impossible to do. Luckadoo 79. Sorry I'm late. I'll definitely go back and watch from the beginning. You guys are such a neat and fun couple. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Really do appreciate that. And yeah, there's a lot of cool thoughts there. We are going to go back and respond to everybody who goes and watches this after. So if you've got any particular thoughts or any bits to add, please go and send them. We'll have a look.
Like and comment.
Subscribe, guys.
Ooh, welcome to 94.44.
You went a different way.
94.44B. If you can name 5 things that Sleep Token took on tour, I got 4 tickets to see John Mayer at the Palladium.
Oh my God, I can't keep up.
Yeah, it's also what I was going to say is shows that impacted my life the most out of any shows I've seen. One is the Cranberries because it was the first ever show I saw. Fuck yeah, shout out. Every Time I Die was the most brutal, insane show I've ever been to. We were tearing the ceiling out, dislocated my shoulder, broke my nose. Fantastic show, best ever. Here's Legend and the Damn Things in San Diego. That was another remarkable one. And then, of course, Sleep Token. Sleep Token had to be the absolute best concert experience I've ever had. And it isn't
Oh, yeah.
even fucking close. It isn't even close. I will say Muse Live were amazing, but I didn't see Muse as Muse. I saw Muse as part of a festival lineup. So it's different. But they were probably one of the best live bands. Oh, and Blindside. Blindside were my introduction to how good a band could sound live. We did do a little tour with him as well, so I was very lucky. But how good a band could sound live when listening to the album, I was shocked.
Can I name 5?
Go for it, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay. The Family Values tour of 90... I don't know, the first one, where it was Korn, Limp Bizkit, Ice Cube, Orgy, and Rammstein. I can't not say it like that, and it's terrible, and all the Germans are like, fucking shut up. But that was super impactful to me. I was 13, and I ended up by myself at that show in the pit at some point, and thank God nothing bad happened, but that was quite formative. That was quite formative for me. Randomly, Don Broco is amazing live.
Don Broco, it's almost unfair.
I didn't interject.
No, but it's important. It's a nice thing about you.
I'm going to forget.
You fucking say a nice thing about you.
I'm going to forget everybody else.
Don Broco were so good, but the only thing better than them was that was our first date.
Yes. I was. We went to see them 2 times in a row.
And yes, Christy, I saw the damn things, and they were fucking incredible. Also, Crowbot were there, and they were amazing too.
Ooh, I like Crowbot too.
Yeah.
Obviously Sleep Token. Like that's probably like the elevated one now.
Yeah.
It's really not close. Also A Day to Remember.
So good.
They're so good live.
Oh my God.
So good live. Very impressed. Again, huge catalog.
Old heads, they know.
Old and new.
I'm saying they're old heads at playing like festivals and shows and stadiums. They fucking crush.
Yes, and I was commenting on their catalog, old and new songs.
You were disagreeing with me? Admit it. Okay, let's fight.
And then you made me forget my 5th one because you.
Okay, let's go through it again.
Family
Values, Don Broco,
Sleep
Token, obviously. Who was the other one?
What did I just say?
Oh,
A Day to Remember.
Day to Remember.
Oh, and a vibe. If you're looking for just a vibe, that's awesome.
Emarosa, bro. I knew you were gonna say it as you said vibe. I knew.
Because we saw them. Well, I saw them for the first time live.
Slam Dunk.
At Slam Dunk Festival. And that was great.
Bananas.
And then we ended up seeing them in Knott's. Was it the next day?
It was
or a couple days later?
It was either the next day or it was like 2 days later. It wasn't very far apart.
Why do we do this?
I don't know.
Because we love them so much.
They were good. They were great. They were great.
Small club setting. A lot of... Okay.
I just realized one that I left out and I'm going to kick myself and die for it.
Okay, don't do that.
Okay.
But small club vibe. I played mostly the same set, and they admitted to that. They're like, if you were at Slam Dunk, sorry, this is going to be the same. And we weren't mad.
No.
But in both settings, amazing. Go ahead, kick yourself.
Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
Dude, what
How
a fucking
dare you
band.
forget
If you guys haven't, and I'm not saying this because I just put out a reaction. Watch mine. If you want to support me, go ahead and watch it. That would be great. But go and watch their new song, The Laugh Track. It's fucking... Dude. After Sleep Token, it's pretty hard to impress me, especially after that show. This did that. This was equal to what I get from them. I get from, in a different way, I get from Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
That band is revolutionary.
I I love them. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing them live, and I know.
I was sick boy.
I saw through your phone because you held up your phone in knots while
To
I
show
was
you.
here
And
to
then-
kind of show me, and all I hear is,
Yeah,
so
it
it's
was
not
tough.
not really the same.
They
but,
crashed. I also went to hospital because I had pneumonia and I was very sick that night, so that wasn't good. Stopped breathing for a bit. That was fun.
That happens.
It
Anyways.
happens. Anyway,
Anyways.
last thing to wrap this up, if you don't mind.
Are you bringing it back to Sleep Token?
I'm bringing it back to Sleep Token, but I'm bringing it back to us.
Oh
So
God.
So what this has done for me, I think that is one of the most important things. It's not like, oh, it's reinstated my faith in music. It's okay. Yeah. What it has done is reignite, because I was in a band for a while and I played a lot of festivals, a lot of shows, and I kind of got sick of it. So even the idea of going to a show, up until very recently, it felt more of a chore. Even though I know I'd love it and I'd enjoy it, felt more like a chore. What this did has reignites, like, let me just read this one quick. Nick Welch said, I drove last year to Pittsburgh from Cincinnati. It was amazing. I drove to Cleveland. They leveled up even more. Yeah, everyone who saw the previous stuff said that. So thank you, Nick, for saying that. They're fucking incredible. But what it's done is it's given me this gift, this reigniting the spark of wanting to see live shows, and we're already looking at a bunch of live shows. We're trying to just, even if we have to go like an overnight in the backpack, just in and out, little stop in a new state, like instead of waiting for them to come here, which, a lot of bands come past Phoenix, but we're looking at a number of shows. Like there's Spirit Box in Vegas. We're looking at that as like a potential. We don't know. We haven't booked anything yet, but like a quick little run in to see them. And My Chemical Romance next year in San Antonio. If we can sell my kidneys, because that's what the fucking tickets cost.
Yeah.
But yeah, all we do now is just look for when these bands are going to be around and go. And so safe to say, what they've given us is a gift that'll outlast them, because it'll give us memories and moments and other musical experiences off the back of this that we wouldn't have had.
Yeah, I think if you can put on a show that maybe ignites the drive to go and see more live music,
oh God, what a jeez!
You're doing a lot right.
Yeah. And Sam, only one kidney? Not with the amounts of beer I drink. I need all my organs. Although your boy's getting strong.
You aren't drinking that much.
No, I'm joking. 100% joking.
Don't make people think that.
People are going to think what they think. Any final thoughts?
No, I think that the post-concert blues have fully gone now. It took me a long time, and I'm not that person. I go, that's cool, and then I carry on with my life. I was proper
you were in it.
Depressed
We're just
for like a
looking
week.
through. We're just like searching for other people's experiences and stuff, just to like, oh yeah, me too.
Solidarity.
But part of it is when you turned that energy into like, let's do more of this. Like that's when that.
This is how you become an
switched.
addict.
Yeah.
You're like, how do I get the high again? We have to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
we have
bro.
to see someone else.
I mean, dude,
this is
token,
what happens.
Bro, meth token. We're addicted now. We need more. I hope they take a long deserved break. I hope they look after themselves. They rest.
Please.
I hope that they put as much thought and care into this. I hope that they get all their flowers from an awards point of view and everything else. And it's just, they deserve the world, and they have it. They have it already. They don't need anything else. The fans, the success of the tour, everything else is just a bonus. The awards, the Grammy stuff, it's cool. The Grammy's kind of a pay-to-play scenario, so like it's hard to win as a band like them, but the fact that they're even in the conversation is pretty remarkable. So they deserve everything they get, and looking forward to more.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, any of the things that you want to do.
Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to not get notified.
Welcome
and
back
fuck
to my
off.
channel. Welcome back to my channel. Here's what I think about.
Insert drama title with fucking red arrow, Jesus Christ.
We've been doing this too long.
Too long. Yeah. I love that you loved it. I can only dream about seeing them live. Bye. Hey, Durban! Hey,
oh, you should have started the conversation with that, man.
Real quick, Son Bradley. If you are a Sharks fan, my heart and soul is with you after that Ulster performance. But have faith, sit tight, fuss bait, as we say. You'll be okay. And we'll catch you all soon. Have a wonderful day. Look after yourself. Be safe. And we're gonna go eat nachos and drink beer and bourbon.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.